History, Standard 6, English Medium, State Board. Lesson number 1, the Indian Subcontinent and History. So you all must be thinking why today's video is with audio. That's because history is a little bit difficult to understand. So it's like that. When someone tells us, we understand it very well. So that's why today's video I have got today's video with audio. Hi, it's me Sarika with you. So in this lecture we are going to learn first lesson, and it is the Indian subcontinent and history. Okay, and at the starting of the video we will see the explanation of the lesson. Okay, and let's start. Explanation of the lesson. In this lesson it is given about the Indian subcontinent. Now what we have in this lesson? We are going to learn about the Indian subcontinent. Okay, first, before we start, we will clear all our concepts with some questions and answers. When we go through each subtopic, there will be some questions and answers, and I will clear your concepts through the question and answers. All right, let's go. What is history? Now here our first question is, what is history? Okay, history is a coherent account of the significant past events in the progress of human culture. Okay, history is an account where all the significant past events are stored in the progress of human culture. How did we progress in the human culture? That everything is stored in the history. Okay, means when we study history, we study what happened in the past. Okay, we have also seen this in the 5th standard. So now that we have seen what is history, let's go to its subtopic. Now we saw that what is meant by history. We understood it, right? Now this lesson has some subtopics. We will also study them in detail. The lesson has 6 subtopics related to the Indian subcontinent. How many subtopics does this lesson have? This lesson have 6 subtopics, and all the subtopics are related to the Indian subcontinent. Now here are the subtopics. Now let's see which are the subtopics. First one is the Himalayas, the plains of Sindhu, Ganga and Brahmaputra, the Thar Desert, the Deccan Plateau, the coastal region and the islands in the sea. Okay, these are the 6 subtopics of this lesson. We will study each of them in detail and clear our concepts. Now we have seen how many subtopics are there, which subtopics are there. Let's see that explanation. But in today's video, we will just see the first 4 important subtopics. And in the next video, remaining 2 subtopics and assignments. Okay, the first 4, the Himalayas, the plains of Sindhu, Ganga and Brahmaputra, the Thar Desert and the Deccan Plateau. These 4 are very important, and we are going to study them in today's video. And in next and the remaining 2, the coastal region and the islands in the sea, we will see them in the next video with some fun assignments. Explanation of the first subtopic. Now the Himalayas are our first subtopic. Now here we will see the explanation of this first subtopic. The Himalayas are at the north side of the India. They form an impenetrable wall. The mountain ranges of Hindu Kush and Himalayas separate the Indian subcontinent from the deserts of Central Asia. Let's study more about them in the form of question and answers. Now we all know that the Himalayas and the Hindu Kush mountains are at the north side of the India. They form an impenetrable wall. So what is meant by impenetrable wall? It means no one can enter the Indian subcontinent. Means this wall is very hard to pass. These mountains are very hard to pass. No one can easily enter the Indian subcontinent. That's why it is written that they form an impenetrable wall at the north side of the India. The mountain ranges of Hindu Kush and Himalayas separate the Indian subcontinent from the deserts of Central Asia. Now here the mountain ranges also separate the Indian subcontinent from the deserts of Central Asia. Okay, now let's study more about them in the form of question and answers. Okay, about Himalayas. Is there any land route through these mountain ranges? Now here we are studying about Himalayas, and I told you that we will see about more. We will study more about them in the form of question and answers. And our first question is there any land route through these mountain ranges? Yes, there is. It is called the Silk Route or Silk Road. So what is our question? Our question is there any land route? Means can anyone travel through these mountains? Is there any road through these mountains? So yes, there it is. It is called the Silk Route or Silk Road. And what is the route called? The route is called Silk Route or Silk Road. Okay, let's go to the next question. Which route is this? Now there is a route. Yes, there is a route. It is called the Silk Route or Silk Road. Then which route is this? It's the Khyber and Bolan Pass. Okay, this route is called the Khyber and Bolan Pass is called Silk Route or Silk Road. Okay, now let's go to the next question. Why is it called Silk Route or Silk Road? Now the next question is, the name of the pass is Khyber and Bolan Pass. So why is it called Silk Route or Silk Road? Because silk was the main commodity exported from the Western countries through this route. It is called Silk Route or Silk Road because silk was exported from the Western countries through this road. The exportation of silk was happening from these routes. So this route got a name, Silk Route or Silk Road. Okay. Now, how does the Khyber Pass looks? Now here, see, the question is, how does this Khyber and Bolan Pass looks? So I have got this answer too. This is how the Khyber Pass looks. Here you can see a finger sign. It is pointing to a picture, and this picture is of Khyber and Bolan Pass. Through this route, silk was exported from the Western countries through this route. Okay. Explanation of subtopic number 2. Now here we will see the second subtopic, the explanation of second subtopic, and this subtopic is about plains of Sindhu, Ganga and Brahmaputra. Okay, this region consists of the basins of three big rivers, Sindhu, Ganga and Brahmaputra. Okay, this region, plains of Sindhu, Ganga and Brahmaputra, consists the basins of these three big rivers and their tributaries. So what is meant by tributaries? The other rivers which come, the other river lakes come and meet these rivers are called the tributaries. Okay, and this region extends from Sindh, Punjab in the west to the present day Bangladesh in the east. Now this region, where does this region starts? This region starts at Sindh, Punjab in the west and goes to the present day where the Bangladesh is today in the east. Let's study more about them in the form of question and answers. And we will how did we did to Himalayas? We studied them through the question and answers. We will study this subtopic through the question and answers too. Okay, about the plains of SGB means Sindhu, Ganga, Brahmaputra. Did any empires or civilizations flourish here? Now the question is, in earlier civilizations, most of the civilizations flourished on the banks of rivers. So does any empires or civilizations flourished here? Yes, the Harappan civilization and Maurya Empire flourished here. The Harappan civilization is the biggest civilization known, right? And the Maurya Empire is the biggest empire in Indian history. These Harappan civilization and Maurya Empire flourished on these banks of these three big rivers. Okay. Explanation of the third subtopic. Now we did our second subtopic, and now we will see about our third subtopic, and which is it? It is the Thar Desert. Okay, and now we will see some explanation, and then we will again study more about it in the form of question and answers. It is the biggest desert in India. So what's so important about Thar Desert? That is, it is the biggest desert in India. Okay, now let's study more about Thar Desert through question and answers, as we did with our first two subtopics. About Thar Desert. What's the location of Thar Desert? Now here our question is, through which states or which part of India through Thar Desert spreads? Okay, we have the answer to. The Thar Desert spreads across Rajasthan, Haryana and some parts of Gujarat. So here it is in the question, the location of Thar Desert is asked, and so where does the Thar Desert spreads? It spreads across Rajasthan, Haryana and in some parts of Gujarat. Okay, a part of this desert is in today's Pakistan. Means a big part of this desert lies in today's Pakistan. Before 1947, India, Pakistan and Bangladesh, all these our these neighboring countries, Pakistan and Bangladesh, were also a part of India. India was very big before 1947. Okay. Does this desert has any river? Yes, this desert has a river called Ghaggar. Okay. Now what is our question? Does this desert has any river, or it is whole dry? So yes, this desert had a river called Ghaggar. Okay. Where does Ghaggar river originates? Organize. Where does Ghaggar river organize? Means where does the Ghaggar river starts? Okay. Where is Ghaggar river born? Ghaggar river organized in the Himalayas. The Ghaggar river originates in the Himalayas. At the Himalayas, the life of this river starts. Okay. Does Ghaggar river goes in Pakistan? Is it still alive now? Now, what is our question? Our question is this river still alive, or it is dried up? And also, does this river goes in Pakistan? Yes, Ghaggar river goes in Pakistan. There it is called Ghaggar. In India, this river is called Ghaggar, and in Pakistan, this river is called Ghaggar. Its course in Rajasthan and Pakistan is now dried up. So, what was our second question? Is it still alive now? No. Ghaggar river is not alive now. It is dried up in the course of its course is dried up in Rajasthan and Pakistan. Okay, it reached Pakistan first, and in Pakistan it was called Ghaggar. But now this river is all dried up. Explanation of the fourth subtopic. The Deccan Plateau. This is our fourth subtopic, and it is called the Deccan Plateau. Is the biggest. Now we will see here the explanation of the Deccan Plateau. It is the biggest plateau in Maharashtra state. Deccan Plateau is the biggest plateau in Maharashtra state. Let's study more about Deccan Plateau in form of question and answers. Okay, this plateau is the biggest in Maharashtra. What is peninsula? So we are learning about Deccan Plateau, and our first question is, what is meant by peninsula? A region bound by the sea from the three sides is called peninsula. Okay, so the answer is a region which is bound by the sea from all the three sides is called a peninsula. Is Deccan Plateau peninsula? Yes, it is. A major part of Indian peninsula is captured by Deccan Plateau. Now we learned what is meant by peninsula. Now this question is Deccan Plateau peninsula? Yes, it is. In a big part of Indian peninsula is captured by this Deccan Plateau. Okay, is occupied by this Deccan Plateau. So my dear friends, here we stop. Did you enjoy today's lecture? Okay. We will see the remaining subtopics in the next lecture with some fun assignments. Okay? I'm going to make another video for the remaining two subtopics. Okay? And in that next video, we will also do some fun assignments. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Okay? Your like and share is very important for us. So don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Also click on the bell icon for fresh updates and videos. At the downside where my channel name is, beside there will be a red colored button. Press on it, and when you press it, a bell icon will appear. Also click on it. By clicking on the bell icon, you will get all the fresh updates and videos which I upload on my YouTube channel. Bye bye.